put a black X over it like they used to do the jizzers. Okay? So this will not be brought out.
Okay.
Well, just for, you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah.
I get you now.
Oh, yeah. See, I have to be. Oh, we get later. We may even actually get.
Good call on thinking ahead of not being controversial.
I know. Very. I don't want to be. You know, because I love him. And so anyway, but I was just going to do it. I didn't even know whose it was. I was just going to do it to look stupider than I look.
Yeah.
Like I need help for that.
Well, there's plenty of stuff to make you look stupid in this warehouse.
But anyway, that's a good call, boy. I had to call an auditor, okay? But look, I'm official. That's Michaela's. She told me that at school to wear it on my TV show. That's when you got to have that to get in the lunchroom now, Bullet.
Okay. Well,
I'm telling you, brother. They don't care if you're alien or whatever. If you get this, you're free for the lunchroom. So I got it. Well, are we crooked, Force?
No, we're fine. It's just I was hoping that people would stop talking, but no, they're just going to get louder.
All right, guys, we're taping $1 Million TV production. Okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the edition of Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle. Yes. You're the claps. You know what time it is. George, how was your weekend?
Bullet, I had one of the greatest, most unbelievable weekends in a long, long time, Bullet. Of course, we're here, late night hours here at Dad, You Don't Work, You, Sunny and Share Studios, Bullet, matinee, because we ain't got a life. But anyway, Bullet, just a great weekend, Bullet. It was a very, very busy weekend. Of course, everyone knows Thunder in the City. I was up in Kentucky this past week with Road Warrior Animal. It was so good to see him again, and Ted DiBiase, of course, Nikita and Lex. And it was really a neat concept. Bullet had a lot of trouble with the athletic commission up there, as everybody knows, and we got an event book, didn't get to pull it off. But anyway, Bullet, it just turned out great. We're still in the gymnasium. They had a beautiful stage for us. They put us on a stage similar to this right here. Not as nice as this, but and just a good little crowd, Bullet, there in the high school gym. And it was just very Jim Ross-ish, round table-ish. I mean, they just got to ask us questions.
Without Flair being drunk.
Without Flair being... without them telling Flair to be Flair and then get mad when it's Flair.
And having Daniel Bryant talk, say, I really don't know what I'm doing here. And Flair goes, I don't know why you're doing here either.
You ain't done what I done.
And then 2 weeks later, he's on the pre-show talking about how much he loves Daniel Bryant.
So, and they didn't tell us to act like Flair and they get mad when we act like Flair, okay? So it was just great. Well, a good time with the fans. They got to ask a lot of neat questions, Bullet, and just a little intimate time. Then, of course, at the end, we got to share our own personal testimonies with the folks. And it was just a great, great turnout. Had over 70 people just want to come forward and just try to change their life and live for the Lord. So it was real, real good with all that. Got to spend time again with Ted DiBiase. And we talked about Ted Jr., you know, a little bit. His son, that was just one of the great young kids coming up, and just decided to walk away, which a lot of people didn't understand that, but he's got a brand new baby and a beautiful wife, and the family meant a lot to him, so I bless him on that decision. So just a great, great time. That was done, Bullet. Jumped in the Batmobile, shot straight back to Charlotte, didn't sleep for 3 days, Bullet, and of course finished with a great big show at the AML show Sunday, right back at the AML Arena in Winston-Salem, Bullet. So all that being said, it was a great, great time, Bullet. Of course, next month, they're going to bring in AJ Styles. He's coming back. So all those gloves we got laying around here, maybe we can move some of them.
Maybe we can.
With all that, had a great, great weekend. A lot of stuff coming up. Of course, Anderson Brothers, we'll be talking about that very, very soon. Breaking news already about the Anderson Brothers 7, that Bullet Jake Manning is available. So
confirmed. Locked in.
Confirmed for the Anderson Brother Tag Team Tournament number 7 at West Lincoln High School. It's a great fundraiser for Relay for Life, Bullet. That'll be coming up the next few weeks, and we'll be talking about that. So, but with all that being said, Bullet, we turn our attention to Bullet Jake Manning's homecoming. Bullet.
Oh, George, you're gonna get me emotional talking about this.
Oh, Mom and Dad were there. One of the first times they've seen you.
In a long time.
Yes.
The last time they saw me was one of your campground shows where we had Bobo Brazil and you had him wearing the Marine shirt, and then you were selling Craig Pickman dolls, saying that was the Bobo Brazil Jr. Action figure, and then my dad walked up to me and goes, why don't you have an action figure? And then, of course, I lost my match, and my dad goes, why'd you lose? For some reason, I trying to explain all this to my father, just went right over his head. All he knows is his son's a failure. That's all he knows.
He don't even have an action figure.
He don't have an action figure. He can't win his match in front of his parents.
I remember
He's not even wrestling under the Feuerbach name. He's got some Manning name, which I prefer because he's kind of a loser. So
you're entitled to this underneath persona image that you're doing. You earned it.
I've earned it.
You earned it faithfully.
I've earned it.
Your dad gave it to you.
Yes,
okay?
exactly.
I remember that about the action figures. I'll never forget that. Bobo, please come back. But you had a great homecoming this week.
Yes, I got to wrestle at Scott County Wrestling, the place where it all started, the place where I had my first match. I wrestled a guy, Merrick Brave. I think I wrestled in my second or third. It was my third match, I think. That's who I wrestled, and it was in a tag match. But this time was a singles match. We put in some time. I haven't worked that hard in a while. I've been doing a lot of these 6-8 minute matches in front of 1,000 people. Just going at it in front of about 100 people as hard as we could in the main event match. That was real good. I got to see a lot of the guys, and we even made a comment. It was very much like an old punk band getting together.
I love that.
You know, and also too like
Sex Pistols.
It was pretty much like that. And like there's and of course those guys used to attract a lot of young girls there, but now they have students that are attracting young girls. And now they're the creepy old men in the locker room. So it's all kind of weird right now.
It's a full circle, just about.
But it was very
Kevin Costner's movie.
Yeah, we'll get back to why it's full circle too. But it was really wonderful too. Is they did a nice little 10-man tag, and everybody that I'd kind of interacted with was all in that match, and we all just kind of tagged, and it just was a good time. Just had a little bit of fun towards the end of the show there, and some little angle and stuff like that. But it was real good just to see everybody. Yeah. And you know, I can't say enough. We Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle. We have to give the seal of approval for the Black and the Brave Wrestling School, which is Seth Rollins' wrestling school. Wow. Because when I showed up, you know, they were setting up the ring, a high spots ring that they bought in 2004.
Wow.
And, of course, I brought new padding, and they hadn't had new padding in 12 years. So that was the greatest thing they ever seen before in their life. But anyways, they had probably, I'd say about 10 students or so, and every one of those students helped set up the ring and tear it down, help with security, made sure everything was taken care of. Like those kids at the Black and Brave Wrestling School, they're being brought in right.
I love that.
And I hear that Seth Rollins is there on a regular basis. The only time he's not is when he's on overseas tour or like a WrestleMania weekend. But Merrick Brave is always there. That's the guy I wrestle, and I can tell you for sure he's definitely the right person to listen to and learn from.
I love that.
And he used to do a lot of flips and a lot of the big bumps and stuff like that. And of course I was always like less is more. He came up to me and goes, "You were right. I should have listened to you a little bit more. It's all catching up to me now." That. So that was kind of nice, and he's just such a positive guy like Merrick Brave is, and it's just really nice to
be around that.
For somebody who's still just as positive and nice as he was when I first met him.
I love that.
But the thing that brought it all back around, at Scott County Wrestling, that's where I met Cole Cabana, and that's where he told me to go to the East Coast. He goes, that's where I got this crazy idea to pack up everything I own and come to highspots.com. Well, there was a kid there, and he heard that I'd moved to the East Coast, and I think he was kind of looking for that same advice, and I kind of sensed it, and he asked, and he asked about it, and I proceeded to sit down and give him the same speech that Cole Cabana gave me. So,
I got good stuff.
It was right when it happened, I'm like, this is a special moment. I'm now going to give the talk that was given to me that's led me on this path that I've been on for the last 10 years.
Right.
So I've probably just ruined a kid's life. He will be the most angry, bitter, frustrated, self-deprecating individual.
With a psycho co-host.
Yeah, with a psycho co-host in 10 years. But I feel like the debt's been paid. And George, to cap it all off, and I wanted to tell you that night, but I wanted to save it for till we were on camera. After everything had happened, gone through that gamut of emotions, and come full circle right there, as soon as I got in my pickup truck, what came on was Ozzy Osbourne, Say Goodbye to Romance.
Oh my gosh, Bullet.
I don't think what a
you
better.
You didn't plan it that way.
I didn't plan it that way. It just came on.
I love that.
Say Goodbye to Friends. All just kind of hit me. The gravity of that situation just kind of came down on me. So that was a big emotional thing, and it was a long drive because I basically did the drive by myself there and back, and I did it all in one day on Sunday.
Wow!
So it was a long trip, but I tell you, just for that couple of hours, it was worth it.
And it's amazing, Bullet. Nobody will really understand this, but it does take your breath when you finally pull out of there. You know what I'm saying? To come back here and you realize where it all started and what you're leaving. It does, especially with Ozzy singing.
And you leave it a little better than you left it before.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You do something. Like I said, I felt like I kept the words. The debt has been paid.
Yeah,
in a sense, that it just. I gave somebody advice who was looking for advice, much like I got some advice.
That's exactly
I was
right.
looking for advice, and I got to see everybody, and nice to know that they can still smile in this business, and that's wonderful.
And see, I love that, Bullet, because you don't know who saw you that you may not got a chance to talk to or whatever, that realized, that knew that you had went away, been gone 10 years, and you're having the time of your life right now. And I don't think people really, it's just keeping that dream alive. Like we always say, Bullet, you just keep on believing. You don't stop believing. And it's just a neat little thing. Of course, you always joke that you just stopped in to get gas somewhere, like off 85. You've been here for about 15 years, Bullet. So I'm very excited about you going back home, Bullet. I was excited about Mom and them getting to see.
They actually got to see me wrestle, and even my dad was like, "You worked pretty hard."
I love that. Still don't have the action figure.
Still don't have the action figure, but you sure worked hard. You really deserve one.
I love that, Bullet. Great time, Bull. I'm so glad you got to go back and see family and stuff. Of course, this edition here will be actually leading in, I think, to big WrestleMania, WrestleCon.
I get on a flight Thursday, so you may be watching this while I'm on a flight, or I'm yelling at somebody on Friday. I don't know, whichever.
And of course, you'll be back towards the beginning of next week. I think our whole highspots.com, Dad, You Don't Work Your Crew, I think the whole crews are going. And I just got some great, unbelievable news. If you don't think dreams come true here at Dad, You Don't Work Your Wrestle, and you may not even knew this, they just told me, but our Dungeon of Doom, I don't know if you've heard, our Dungeon of Doom is actually being took to WrestleMania as special guest, Bullet. So they are actually going to drive back. Now, I don't know if they know this or not, but they're actually driving the truck back with all of our merchandise in the ring back. But in exchange, they're getting a all-expense-paid trip to hang out at WrestleMania.
Oh, thank goodness. I got some help with that ring.
Oh, my gosh,
I can feel it already.
And what's so funny is, guys, we're talking about our Dungeon Doom, just local boys here, great guys that help us anytime we need it. They're
lift 2 ring pulls at a time.
Oh, my gosh. 2 guys will load that whole ring, plus the truck, if you need to truck load it. Yeah. So, just unbelievable how exciting it was for me to hear that before we came to taping, that they're going to get to go. These are just guys that's never even been out of, like, North Carolina. I mean, just country boys, strong as an ox, and do anything in the world for you. What a great just gift for them. They get to see the country coming back. Well, they may never speak to us again when this is over, but they're going to. So if you see some weirdo do a run in at WrestleMania, it's one of our guys. Yeah. Bullet. So I'm excited for them. So with all that being said, Bullet, I know we got to get out of here, but Idiot of the Week, as we know, Bullet, what is going on with people? Bullet, I've seen it bad. I mean, I've always seen it this bad, but Bullet, here's what's so amazing to me, and I'm going to bring you in on this because you could kind of help me with this guy. And this hurt kind of in a way. Of course, there's a million idiots, Bullet, just running wild. There's everybody. Of course, the biggest one that I was going to put in here, but I'm going to change it real quick. I called another audible here. Of course, everybody knows that we did the big festival. I can't drop names, get people in trouble. Did a huge festival, Bullet. Last year, 10,000 people saw Cedric and Matt Hardy have one heck of a match. I still, to this day, have people come up to the matches talking about how much fun they had at this certain festival, okay? And to do that, to get that much talent, as you know, Bullet, requires money. I mean, come on. It basically, the old saying, what our grandpas told us, you get what you pay for, is basically true. Bullet. So anyway, long story short, they're going to go another avenue. They're going to go another route. The festival people are, not because they think they can get better talent, but because they want to save money, which that really just flew off at me, Bullet, because nobody is getting less money but the wrestlers, if that makes sense. The festival people still sell the same sponsorships. The band that comes in, Molly Hatchet or whatever later, gets the same amount of money, but the wrestling event is the one that will suffer. So that's their choice. I will be quiet about it. They will not go in the idiot bag, maybe later on, but they're going to do their own event. Their exact words were, we're doing it to save money. So that just aggravates me. I guess it's the same concept that you've said, that they think we all do this for free, Bullet. But with all that being said, Bullet, as you know, I know everybody. There's got a lot of friends, a lot of people I consider friends that I've known since my Crockett days. Well, this past week, Bullet, as you know, Big Time Wrestling came to the Carolinas several months back. And remember when we did the Morganton deal? We did Morganton, and then I think we sold that out, and then we sold it next time. Well, I have I almost say the whole crew that was at a certain building in another town. Okay, and they were wanting Big Time Wrestling, and this is why this group will go in this idiot bag. Me and you have nothing to do with the venue, the building. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm close to this guy. Nothing, seriously, and I want somebody to see this. So anyway, I get an email from this particular facility, really just pissed. I hate to say that on X-rated television. They're mad at me because they think we gave them the lead on the Morganton building. Now, I know this don't make a bit of sense, Bullet. This
the
is the
only
first
person
time
I'm
I've
going
heard
to get
all
the lead
this.
to is myself.
Exactly. Exactly. So
EWA would have ran it twice by now.
Oh my gosh!
If we had any type of lead,
Holy cow!
I would have wrestled at least 3 times
So
since
Bullet, this good friend of mine, sends me this note, and I actually thought it was a joke. I did, Bullet. I thought, well, what do you, I'm so burnt. What are you talking about? And he said, no. He said, I can show you right here on your message where you told me that you were going to have somebody call me. Okay, maybe I did say, but we don't book the buildings. That's what I'm getting at, Bullet. So this friend, I'm telling you, you can say, George, did you fall over and hit your head? But it is so bad. This conversation ended.
And at the same time, too, sorry, I forgot.
Oh, my God.
Not like I'm busy doing everything else.
Bullet. Here's my point. He said, I told you about a festival in our town, and you just ignored me. Listen to me. If I ignored anybody, it's because no money was ever discussed. Do you understand, Bullet? If you mention money to me, I'm not going to ignore you. But in the process, here's my point before we got to get out of here. Here's how this conversation ended, Bullet. If I did forget, we do have a lot going on. Mind you, 5 kids and 3 grandbabies, Bullet. We got a training school, shows.
#1 rated TV show.
#1 rated television show. The greatest second book in the world, Bullet. We're all over the world. Why wouldn't you contact me again? Do you understand? If I'm supposed to help you with this so-called festival event, Bullet, wouldn't you chase me down? Seriously. Instead of just sit in your office, you know, and wait on me. So big stinking deal. Anyway, so this friendship, and you say, George, you're taking this way too far. It got bad. We're done. Seriously. We're this friendship that has been since Crockett days. When he told me, listen, I quit having people tell me I'll show you on my phone where you said you were going to have somebody call me. Now, I did tell that Tony Hunter, who helps Big Time Wrestling, I would pass that number along. We didn't decide to go to the Morganton building, did we, Bullet? No, we don't have nothing to do with that. That's what I told this so-called used-to-be friend today, before I throw him in this idiot bag. I said, we don't have anything to do with it. We get paid the same wherever we take the ring. We have nothing to do with the buildings, Bullet. So, anyway, the festival that this guy, it ain't the same festival I just mentioned. I don't know what it is with festival people, Bullet. But anyway, this same guy, Bullet, the festival ain't till the end of next month. So I told him, boom, I called him out right now, last night. I said, listen, we still got a month away. Give me a figure, and I'll bring a show there for 2 days. It ain't that hard. Of course, he writes me back, said, oh, it's way too late now. You just ignored me. What? Like we've got, and I know it ain't, yes, it is bad enough to go into idiot back because the friendship was just lost over there. Because my first reply was, easy, buddy. Calm down here. What the heck is this all about? So, his exact words were, you told Big Time Wrestling to go to Morganton instead of coming to our building. Which is, they wouldn't listen to me anyway. Who listens to me? Honestly, Bullet, seriously.
They tell us where to go.
They tell us what to do.
Listen, I've been trying to tell them not to run South Carolina for a while. I got my own agenda I'm trying to work on.
Oh, so, with all that being said, and they know who they are, Bullet, and I may reveal the name. It just really hurt me that a friendship, all we got's a few friends in this business, Bullet. Come on. I mean, really. And and I just told them at the end, I'm not mad. I just said, y'all were wrong. You were completely wrong. And we may have, listen, if we talked to somebody about a show 6 months ago, do they know what changes in our life before, you know what I'm saying, in that process? It ain't up to us to go find you and to see if you still want to do an event. Does that make sense, Bullet? If I wanted you to come, I would bug the tar out of you, Bullet. Seriously, I would. And say, okay, what about this event? But in all this conversation, we got to get out of here, this whole festival event, festival people in period will go in the idiot bag. All festival people.
Everybody. Anybody got a festival, you're going in the idiot bag. Let's just make it easy
all
and
of
simple.
it. And that settles it up.
Nice and neat. They're all in there. We know where they are.
And what upset me about
stay there until October.
That's exactly right. Till it gets cold weather and you can't do no more festivals.
Yeah.
So what got me is there's a way to talk to people. Is what I'm getting at, Bullet. And I know I'm probably the last person in the world, but there's a friendship that's thrown in the trash, thrown in the toilet. But I want to get my piece out, and I didn't say it to him, is we don't have anything to do with where Big Time Wrestling goes. Because we don't want nothing to do with that.
Like I said, I would try and steer him away from South Carolina as much as possible.
And boy, what I told him when I ended the conversation, I'll never talk to him again, is I said, we get paid, seriously, we get to pay to wherever they go.
They tell us where to go.
Exactly.
Or else I wouldn't have gone to Bluefield, West Virginia.
That's exactly right. On a snowstorm and everything else. So, anyway, it's just
Bristol would have been okay, but Bluefield, come on. Get it together, West Virginia.
It's just one of those things where they didn't have no stupid information, I had no right, but you don't throw a friendship away because you want a show ran at your... And here's my thing, then we got to go, Bullet, and I always get the last word, is I said, okay, if I'm so bad, if I messed all this up, how come you didn't pursue someone else to come and do that show? Does that make sense, Bullet? There's 4,000 billion goofballs out there, besides this goofball. So if George was messing it up, that's my point that I'll take to my grave. If I'm messing this up, how come you didn't pursue someone else? You understand, Bullet? They're still not wrestling there, so you can't blame me, Bullet. So anyway, I just, oh my gosh. Everybody says, George, you got to come. But Bullet, they draw first blood on Rambo. We don't draw first blood, do we? Really?
I just want something to eat, Jack.
So, with all that being said, don't go to no festivals this year, folks. Really. Don't go to any. Cook out in your backyard. We may just have a cookout, Bullet.
There you go.
A cookout, so they'll cook the food. Okay, Bullet? So anyway, all that being said, Bullet, I'm just real aggravated and just, I hate festivals at this time. So, anyway, all that being said, Bullet, great. Glad you got to go home, Bullet.
We covered the whole gamut of emotions right there.
Oh, I'm just telling you, from Ozzy Osbourne making us cry to this goof, well, making me cry because he just threw the friendship out the window. Bullet, what the heck? On something, let me screw something up. That's the point of the day show, the theory of the day show. Let us screw up before we get blamed for it. I mean, dang, I'll take credit for screwing that whole festival up, Bullet, if I did it. But anyway, we don't, we just go where they tell us, Bullet. You know
exactly.
That. So anyway, thank you so much, Bullet. I love you. Thank you.
Well, you talk about how you hated somebody, just let me know. Like I said, we ran the whole gamut of emotions, but another piece of literature that covers the whole gamut of emotions is the second greatest book of all time, which is available at highspots.com. And if you want to know more about what's going on between me and George, you can follow me on Twitter at ManScoutManning. So thank you again for tuning in to Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle.
Yes. Thank you, buddy. Good job, Bullet. Dang.
Woo, that was long.
Whoa, I'm telling you, I got to need some. We're going to put some tissue in between us, Bullet. We get a little emotional there.
I felt like Oprah there for a second.